Hey y'all, my name is April Resch and I'm an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and today I want to talk to y'all about the topic of three-way calls. So first of all, three-way calls are so very important for many reasons, but you want to make sure that you're capitalizing on your new joins excitement by doing that three-way call with your sponsor between about 24 to 48 hours after they've joined, after they hit that click button that lets them officially confirm that they're a new ambassador. And so the reason being that you want to do three-way calls is that's exactly where they can connect with someone else outside of yourself. They can hear someone else's story. They can get any of their questions answered, feel really good about the decision they made, and there might even be some vision casting, some business seeds that can be planted during that call. So what should a call look like? First of all, a welcome call should be no longer than 15 to 20 minutes max. Okay, so keep that in mind. We don't want people on calls for 30, 45 minutes. No one has time for that. So when I do a welcome call, the first thing is I'll have my girls, whoever I'm having it with, let's say her name is Stephanie. Stephanie will go ahead and she'll introduce who the person is, the third person is on our phone call. And she'll somehow try to make a connection between the two of us. And usually she'll say something like, hey, thanks so much for jumping on the phone today. This is my friend April. She's been using the products for 2 years now, and she's really just gonna share her story with us, and we're all just gonna be able to spend a few minutes together. Does that sound all right? So getting their buy-in. And then from there, I'll jump in and I will have asked my girl, say it's Stephanie, this is her join. I'll ask her, hey, can you just give me a quick blurb about the phone with Kendra, if that's her name, Kendra today. And I will try to figure out, okay, what kind of connections do I have with Kendra where I can quickly connect with her? A lot of times I'll say, oh my goodness, I heard you're a military spouse too. Or I'll say, I hear you're a mama of two kids, me too. Or I'll hear, you live on the East Coast, me too. So I'll try to connect, and then after briefly connecting, I'll say, I just wanted to thank you so much for jumping on the phone today. I know there's probably 1,000 other things you could be doing, so I really appreciate it, and I'm only going to take up about 15 minutes of your time. Does that sound all right? So again, getting their buy-in. You want them to be excited for this call. And then from there, you're going to go right into your story. Now, your story should only be 2 to probably 3 minutes long. If you're doing an 8-minute, 9-minute story, the person has checked out. They probably put you on mute and their phone might be down and you're on speaker just talking to their house. So quick, short stories, make it to the point. So I'm going to share exactly what I share in a welcome call. But I'll say something like, so I would love to share my story with you. I have been with Plexus 2 years now. It's been really incredible. I basically kept telling my friend Tina that I was healthy. I exercised, I ate well, I didn't need her supplements. And she kept posting and posting and posting, and she'd follow up with me. And it was one day that, because I was watching her page, it was one day that she had posted on our serotonin levels and how our gut health really impacts a lot of how we live on a day-to-day basis. And so I personally struggled really bad with postpartum depression, anxiety with my first son. I was actually put on a very high dose antidepressant, and I did not feel good on it. I had a lot of side effects, and I just didn't feel like myself. And so when she posted on serotonin levels, that was my in. I messaged her and said, I'm ready to hear more about this Plexus thing. So of course she educated me. I figured out I really wasn't as healthy as I thought I was. I struggled with sugar cravings. I had very low energy. I also didn't sleep well. I tossed and turned. My husband would be lying in the bed next to me and I would still be awake. It was really, really frustrating. I also had some stubborn baby weight that I wanted to lose, and Plexus has helped with all of those things, and I've actually been able to completely wean off my antidepressant. I had one Plexus baby and one non-Plexus baby, and the pregnancies were completely different. My midwives actually fine-tooth combed the ingredients, gave me the okay to take them during pregnancy, and I felt great. I actually, when I went to a couple of check-ins, the midwives would say, "Oh, she's the Plexus girl. Like, look at her vitals, look at her blood work." So they were just really oohing and eyeing over what Plexus was doing for me. So obviously, my pregnancies were different, and then my post-pregnancies were different. I didn't struggle with postpartum depression, anxiety. I got to bond with my little boy, and so I could go on and on and on. But I'm curious to know. Share with me a little bit, Kendra, what piqued your interest with Plexus, or what are you hoping Plexus will help you with? So your quick story, and then you can, I thought I had a hair in my mouth, maybe not. I do, there we go. And then you can ask them, what piqued your interest? And then from there, they'll usually share with you what they're struggling with. Sometimes they'll even go quite deep. Sometimes I've even had my girls who have jumped on, they're like, I had no idea she struggled with that. So by being very warm and open and asking them, what are you wanting Plexus to help you with, will help to open up that, initiate the conversation, the back and forth, because you don't want it just to be you talking on the welcome call. And so then from there, I will validate. I will be so bold and I'll say, oh my goodness, girl, Plexus is absolutely going to help with that. I'm so glad you shared that with me. And the awesome thing is there's only 2 things that you can do for the products not to work. Are you ready for them? They're not that hard. And I will share this. I'll say, are you a water drinker? I'll gauge what they say and I'll say, okay, perfect. You need to be drinking at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Then from there, I'll say, this was going to sound crazy, but you have to take your products on a consistent basis. And a lot of times they'll laugh and I'll say, I know it sounds so funny, right? But I get women who their products are in their purse. It's by their nightstand. It's on the countertop. They're not being taken on a daily basis. So I'll put that plug in for consistency in water drinking. And then again, I'll validate and I'll say, oh my goodness, girl, I'm so excited to see your testimony. It's going to be so amazing. It really depends on your body and how long you've struggled with these issues. It's not going to be this magic fix, but it really is going to be true health changes from the inside out. And so the awesome thing is Rachel's going to be checking in on you, or I forgot who the name was I was using, Stephanie. Stephanie is going to be checking in on you, seeing how you're feeling, how you're doing. So this really is a journey that we're on together. So I am so excited. So now another exciting thing, first of all, do you have any questions for me specific to the products? So I'll give them the chance to talk again. And then I'll say, oh my goodness, now this is also really exciting. So Plexus has an opportunity. When you sign up, you have the opportunity to make some extra income. So I don't know if Stephanie has shared this with you or not, but when I jumped in, I actually jumped in to get my products covered because by about 3 weeks, my husband was stealing my pink drink. And I was like, babe, like I am not going to budget for my triplex and your triplex. So I went ahead and I got our products covered. We never paid for products after my very first welcome pack. So I share that. And then I say that at that time, I was a speech therapist working full time, loved my job. Anyone who knows me, I loved being a speech therapist, but I love my family more. And my kids, to me, it was just one kid at the time when I first started Plexus. He is the world. So I would go after a normal workday, exhausted, tired, bringing paperwork home, and not necessarily leaving work at work. I was bringing a lot of the stress with me. And I would go get him from the babysitters, and she would tell me all the things he was up to that day. And I would just be so sad because in my mind, I was thinking those are all the things I missed. And so after my second son was born, and I bonded so well with him, and it was perfect, I decided to go all in with Plexus. At that time, like I said, I was still covering our products, but I wasn't necessarily all in. And in that year, I basically went from covering our products to now I can be a 6-figure income earner. My husband and I are sent to Hawaii each year. That, the company can pay for, and I can also drive around a Lexus vehicle that the company will pay for. So I honestly never imagined that I would leave my job as speech therapist and be able to do this at home, at my own time, and still have amazing income coming in. So I'm just curious to know, have you ever thought of using social media to supplement your income? And I'll wait. And usually I get pretty positive responses. Usually they'll just say, no, I've never thought about that. Or, yeah, I have thought about that. And they'll give an objection, which I'll speak to. Or maybe they'll say, oh my gosh, that sounds really good. And then I'll make them think a bit more. I'm going to cast the vision. And I'll say, if your bank account were full and your calendar were empty, what would you want your life to look like? And this really gets their wheels turning. And whatever they share with me then is typically something Plexus can help with. So I'll validate it. I'll be like, oh my gosh, girl, I totally agree. I also wanted to be home with my boys, or I also wanted to pay for my son's college, or I also wanted to travel more, whatever it is. And I'll say, Plexus can help with that. And then I'll go one step further. Now, I don't do this with everyone. If I'm not getting a warm vibe between us all, I'm not going to keep going. But, sorry, y'all, I just had an update. Hopefully it didn't stop my video. But if I'm getting this warm vibe, like, I'm kind of interested, I'm going to keep going. So these are the steps I usually take. And then I'll say something like, I'm just curious to know if we could show you a system that we have set in place that would take like 30 minutes to an hour max a day using social media. Can we help you earn this income? And then I'll say exactly how much income they can make by just having 3 people jump in. And majority of the time, that has excited them, that has inspired them, so they're ready to take action. Now, no one is going to take action until they've been inspired. So if the phone call didn't inspire them, there's other ways to inspire them. Diamond docs, opportunity videos, maybe other people have created. There's the Hawaii recap video that a lot of people who are into traveling and social and fun, they love seeing that. So there's different ways you can inspire. But from there, I'll just say, the sky is the limit. There's no cap. There's no, what is the word I'm thinking of, y'all? There's something people ask me a lot, and I cannot think of it. Quotas. There's no quotas. I knew I would remember it. There's no quotas. There's nothing like that. And then I just validate. Like, I'm so excited you jumped in with us. You're going to love your products. We would love to help you make that cash. So we're going to go ahead and get set up in a 3-way chat, and we'll give you further instructions. Does that sound all right? Get their buy-in again, and that's it. So this video took me 12 minutes to make, and that's literally how long. It's actually a little bit less of me talking because I'm sharing with y'all. But literally my welcome calls end up being about 15 minutes, sometimes 20, depending on if that third person likes to talk. And I do cut people off politely at a point because you don't want welcome calls. You don't have 45 minutes. Your worker doesn't have 45 minutes. So sometimes you just have to politely interrupt, which people aren't usually... they're not bothered by it. I usually just say something like, because I do stack my welcome calls every 30 minutes. I'll say, y'all, I'm so sorry. I actually have a welcome call here in 3 more minutes. So I just wanted to touch briefly on this. And that's how I'll just keep things transitioning. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know. But that is literally how I do my welcome calls. And like I said, I won't go that deep with every person. It really depends how warm they are, how open they are, and if I feel like I could really, cast the vision with them. I'll also have my workers, if one of my level 1s has said, like, we have to get on the call with so-and-so, I'll say, okay, tell me a bit about her. Why do you think she'd be a great product user? Or are you thinking she's going to be a really good person that we could sprinkle the business with? And if they say specific qualities of why this person will be good at the business, I'll call it out. And I'll usually say something like, Shelly, I have been stalking your Facebook page ever since Stephanie added you to the team page. And girl, like, I have seen, like, you really have a following. Or I can tell you love your family and you value family time just like I do. Or I'll say, girl, I can tell you're of integrity. I love how you're a Jesus lover. Or, girl, I see how driven you are. So I will call those out during the call. And you won't believe how many people are just like, oh, you're so sweet. Like, that's so kind. But, you know, the truth, when you share truth with people, it goes a very far way. And you just pinpoint, like, why do you think they would be good at this? So that is all. This video is long enough, but I hope this helps y'all, and I hope you have a great day.